Welcome to the Millennial Network Podcast. Now your host, Coach Danny Renee.
What's up, everyone? It's Coach Danny Renee, and this is the Millennial Network Podcast. Today, we have a good episode with Tank, with Gladys Wine. Tank, not the R&B singer, you know. But Tank, so I actually met Tank, I don't know, some years ago, almost 10 years ago, in the gym, right? This dude is
Yeah,
probably
LA
like
Fitness.
one of the biggest beasts when it comes to fitness. Um, Definitely dedicated, motivated, and he has a professional athletic background. So Tank, tell me the story. Like, how did you get from, or actually tell me even the professional athlete part, because everyone's talking about entrepreneurship and everything, but how does a professional football player get into like the wine business?
Networking. You can't be antisocial, which is what I am. You know what I'm saying? But I had my business partner that we have. His name's Caesar. Shout out to him. He
Mm-hmm.
was the outgoing one when we met. We met in Hungary because I played football over there in Hungary, and so when we was over there, he was more business minded than me. Me, I always was like, I'm gonna get it on my own. I'm gonna hustle on my own. So but he understood business. He was like, hey man, wine business that's a big business, whatever. I'm old. I'm like the old school guy. So I'm like, man, wine for females, just being transparent. And that's how my mind was during the time. Like, man, I'm not drinking no wine out here. Like, I'm, drinking liquor, hen dog, all that other stuff. And so, I'm listening to him, and then I actually start like researching. I'm like, oh, it is a pretty big deal. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. And just so happened, the wines that we have is made out of Tokai's Hungary, and so they have like the vineyards and all of that stuff. And just so happened, um, the two kids, they was actually like fan of ours when we was playing football, and they actually spoke English,
Okay.
and that's how it happened with the wine. We got in contact with them. They actually wanted to get it out to America because they always do like wine stuff around Europe and all of that, like Switzerland,
Mm-hmm.
Germany, go all them places. And they wanted to branch it out to America, and they chose us. So that's how
Okay.
it happened.
So this is all in Hungary. This is like a
It's all
Hungarian
in
type of
Hungary.
wine. Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
a
we're gonna come
Hungarian
back
white
to that.
wines.
Got it.
All
I
right.
got it. So we're gonna come back to that because I'm so curious. So obviously everyone hears that you have an accent, right? Where are you
Yeah,
from?
yeah. So I was born in Germany, pops was military, so lived in
Okay.
Louisiana, and then when I then pretty much was living in Fayetteville, North Carolina. So when I tell people I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina, they don't believe me just because of
Mm-hmm.
my accent or whatever. And so I tell them, well, yeah, started out in Louisiana and then, you know, moved to Fayetteville, North Carolina. So I shout out always 318 Alexandria, Louisiana, and 91026 Fayetteville, North Carolina.
See, I don't think I knew the North Carolina. I thought it was like I always knew Louisiana, especially because of like your accent. Like that's not, you don't hear that accent everywhere.
Yeah, right. I know. And then, like in Carolina, it's way different,
Mm-hmm.
as far as accent wise or whatever. So, but yeah, I tell everybody forever, and it's tatted on me. Both of
Mm-hmm.
the states represent, so it is what it is.
I didn't know that. Okay, so professional football. So tell like the journey about that because I know you have like a non-traditional journey into getting into professional football. But like, what's the story behind that?
Yeah. So got kicked off my senior year of college. Um,
How come?
the coach there, he wanted somebody like to kiss his tail. You know what I'm saying? And me, I don't believe in that. I wasn't raised like that. Like you're gonna pick me up because of my work ethic. And so senior year, I got kicked off. Pretty much, make a long story short as possible. The year before, I got hurt, and so they pretty much told me like when I come back, when I broke my foot. So they said when I
Mm-hmm.
come back from breaking my foot, heal up and everything, I get my starting spot back. And when it happened, I broke my foot, and in 2 months I was pretty much back. Trained, busted my tail. Shout out to the trainer Shay Huntley. She the one that helped me out a whole lot. And
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, I came back. They lied to me, and like I can't admit I handled it wrong. I don't like liars, so like don't tell me you're gonna do something, and then when it's time you don't do it. Me, I'm always like more hands on. Like, I'm gonna confront you right then and there. I shouldn't have done that because I still was a player and that was a coach. So me and the coach almost got into it. That's on the field, and from then on, it went downhill. And it started before then because my right hand man had passed away, and I had to speak at his funeral. And the same day I had to speak at his funeral was our first day of training camp, and I missed it. I don't regret it, won't regret it, because football is a privilege. I don't have my right hand man no more. He died.
Mm.
And that started an issue as well too. So it was a mixture of all of it, and didn't play my senior year of college. So the trainer there, his name was Coach Roos. He's actually at VCU, with
Mm.
where he was with Shaka Smart. When they went to like the final eight, final four, and all of that stuff. Went to Texas with him. He's back at VCU now, but his name Daniel Roos. Changed my life, and I had an attitude problem back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, once it
Hothead.
get to me, it. Yeah, yeah, I was a hothead, big time.
But
That's why I'm
you're
like,
an Aries, right? Aren't you an Aries? Or what's your sign?
yeah, yeah. I figured that out like 2 years ago because I really wasn't into that horoscope. But yeah, I'm an Aries, March
I'm an Aries
26th.
y'all too, so I understand.
Right, right. So, what I'm saying? He really got me into it. He was like, look, man, it's not about your play. Like, you definitely can play. It's just your attitude. Like, when we can tell when you're mad, you separating yourself from the team. Everybody down there, you down there by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so he actually trained me for the NFL Combine that was in Atlanta during that time frame. That was 2009 to be exact. And
Mm.
so went out there, did good. My 40 was a 4.34. Had the fastest one out there, and that's when I just
Mm.
received like private workouts from there, and that was my stuff. So I was more like a street free agent in a sense. Like, I wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
your top tier agent, like a T.O. Chad Johnson type, but it was like I really had to grind. So
Yeah, you
literally
did.
from 2009, graduated college too, by the way, at North Carolina Pembroke in 2009, December 5th. And I literally from 2009 all the way, honestly, until I retired in 2017, I was living out of my duffel bags because hey, you can, no matter how hard you go, you can do good and still get cut. You know what I'm
Wait,
saying?
you
And
said
like,
wait. You said when were you living outside your duffel bag?
living out my duffel bags 2009 to 2017. So even when I was working at
Mm.
LA Fitness, I was still with my duffel bags, because it's just like that's the mentality, that's the grind. Like, I was in Buffalo, and had a proper workout there. Did good, everything, catching everything, number, speed. Got
Mm-hmm.
released because of the agent I had during that time. Had zero to do with me. It's just they didn't take con artists and scam artists, whatever. And you hear all the
Wait a
time like,
minute.
hey, go ahead.
Wait a minute. You going fast because this is some interesting info. You said they didn't wait. You mentioned con artists and scam artists, but then you also said duffel bag. So it's a couple ways
Mm-hmm.
that could be interpreted with a duffel bag. It's either you're constantly on the go, or you were homeless and you were hopping house to house. So what do you mean by you were living out your duffel bag?
Shoot, both of them. And when I say
Damn.
homeless,
Okay.
not homeless as in
Like on the
like, hey,
street.
on the street type, but homeless as in, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like, man, if it, shout out, it's my cousin Kevin Mickle. He
Mm-hmm.
helped me out because he had his spot. That's when I met you. That's why I was staying with him. And then got a homegirl, Regina, and shout out to her. They changed my life. If it wasn't for them, yeah, I probably would have been back at the crib. 'Cause I wasn't going back home because every time I was back in
Mm-hmm.
Fayetteville, I always found trouble. Always found me, and I always accepted it. So it was just like I had to get away from Fayetteville. My parents them told me that, and yeah, Kevin let me stay at his spot. Regina let me stay at her spot, and that right there was more of an ego. I had to check my
Mm-hmm.
ego at the door because it's like a man staying with a woman. I'm not from that era. That ain't me, man. And it's just like, hey, well, you know what? Let me stay here. I clean. You got a maid at the crib. You heard me? Like, I got food stamps. They're yours. I'll clean out your stuff. I just ain't gonna touch your bedroom. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how it was. And so I was just
Wow.
training, and yeah, staying in the duffel bag. So even when I get picked up and go to play for teams, like I played Buffalo, played out there in Louisiana in Arena, New York, Rochester, and I still would just keep my stuff in the duffel bag because it literally was like that. If you a street free agent, they pretty much like looking to cut you. You just another
Mm.
space. All right, let's just bring him in. But then when you bring him in, okay, he's fast. Okay, oh dang, he's actually going first every time in the line. He's going against the top DB. He's making our top DB that we paying this much money. He making him look like trash. All right, hey, you know what? You can stay another day. hey, I'm gonna stay. So then I'm gonna go in my duffel bag. I'm gonna get my, my underwear and all that stuff. Shower up, floss, brush my teeth, go back to bed, do it again. So I never got comfortable, and that was the
Mm-hmm.
main thing. Like it was easy to get comfortable, and I seen guys that was my roommates for like a day and a half, 2 days. They'll fly in from wherever they from, live in a hotel because that's where they put us at in a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And they put their stuff in the drawers, they hang their stuff up and everything, and then we go to practice, come back, they cut
Dang.
just like that. You know what I'm saying? So I never got comfortable. I always was just living on the edge and grinding, like literally from 2009 to even when I was playing overseas, same thing. So
That's crazy. And then you mentioned something about con artists and scammers.
yeah,
What's the story behind
yeah.
that?
My the agent I had, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was wet behind the ears. I put it like this: I should have listened to my mama. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to
Mm-hmm.
her. Yeah, me and her, we got into it a lot about that. Me, I was just wanting to play football. I didn't really know
Mm-hmm.
about business that back then. I didn't care about it. I'm like, look, man, whatever y'all do off the field has nothing to do with me. I can ball. Just put me in front. Give me your doggone quarterback. Put the top DB out there. Watch what I do. And I can do all of that, but then it's still a business side. So the agent that I had, apparently, where it came true, he pretty much would take money, you know what I'm saying, and have money and hide it and stuff. So he had like a good, was like 15, 20 clients during that time frame. And
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't do my research. It was just like, oh, you need an agent to actually talk for you. Boom. I went to a workout. He came to me, fast talk. I fell for it. Lesson learned. You know what I'm saying? And so
Wow.
that's what happened. Yeah, I didn't get the times that I get released and cut, it wasn't because of my athletic ability. So that's one thing I do thank God for. Because,
Mm-hmm.
here I am like 21, 22. Like I tell people, man, football easy. If you can't catch when you're 13, you can't catch when you're 20 something. That's the worst thing they want.
Really?
If you're 20 something years old and they telling you got to work on catching, go ahead and just look for another career, man. Because I mean, it's easy to catch. It's concentration, hand-eye coordination. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so it always was political. The reason why I would, either get released or whatever. Like it's some
Mm-hmm.
stories that I have. So yeah,
So stories um, as far as like your agent kind of like messing up the opportunity for you.
that yeah, especially that one. Like I pretty much I never made the 52-man roster, but I always like I had proper workouts for practice squad, CFL, NFL, and then I played arena. Because it was just kind of like it's a mental beatdown. Like I was mentally beat down, but I did not let it get to me. You got to have that great support system, whether it's just your guardians, your parents, whoever you believe in. Because imagine like you busting your tail, you doing everything, you doing the right way, you grinding, working out, waking up at 3, stretching, looking at film, doing all that. You get there, you perform great. I'm talking about I run, like I said, 4.34, 4.35. I'm catching
Mm-hmm.
everything. My vertical is a 42. You know what I'm saying? Strength, I can bench 225. During that time, I was benching it, 16 to 18 times, like straight. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing everything possible, route running, coachable, all of that. Still get cut. So it's kind of like, what do you do next? Like when you hear everybody be like, "Oh, nobody beat you when you work hard," but then you work hard and somebody beats you. As far as like cutting you, it's kind of like. So when I'm hearing them, I go in the coach's office. They like, "Hey, man, we're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to let you go." I got let go on one arena team because they had a fan favorite that was trying out like in the AFL. So the
Mm-hmm.
AFL and the PIFL, it was different in arena leagues. And so he got cut from the AFL and was coming back home. He puts fans in the stands. So from a
Mm-hmm.
business standpoint, now that I'm business minded, I definitely understand. You know what I'm saying? During that time
Mm-hmm.
frame, and you a player, what they got to do with me?
Mm-hmm.
You telling me I'm better than him, but he put fans in the stands. So
Mm-hmm.
any like a normal human being, you got to be mentally tough. You got to be mentally tough for it because what you gonna do after that? Like you doing the best you can and you still get cut.
Man,
What's
so
there to do? You
professional
know what I'm
obviously
saying?
is so professional sports or even talking because I guess it makes sense like of like all the boxers that I know just because that's like the only sport nowadays that I watch is boxing and you have
Mm,
you know the business side of it which is who people want to watch, right? versus
Hmm.
the talented side. Is probably some really talented people out here. So I guess it goes the same for football eyes. Like I never understood or I never knew that there was just a business side. It's just like if these people are good, they play, you want to compete, and this is the person that people eventually that this is the person that eventually becomes a star because he helped this team win. But you're saying it basically doesn't always work that way.
Nah, I mean, it's politics and everything you do in life, but
Mhm.
that right there, yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of good players that's walking around that you would never know of just because they got tired of it. Like I had a couple people that pretty much they were like, "Hey man, we gonna live through you because we know you ain't never giving up." You know what I'm saying? Like I'd never give up on anything. Like you tell me I ain't gonna do it, oh best believe I'm gonna make sure you there when I do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You talk junk to me, you might as well go ahead and cancel quips because I'm gonna antagonize you because I know that this is what I'm doing. I eat, sleep, crap, doing all like I know I can do this junk, and I just never gave up. And I thank God I never gave up because it's a lot of them that was like just right there and they gave up, and I can't fault them because I've seen
Mhm.
it. Like it's a couple dudes that I knew for a fact that was gonna make it before me because they 6'5". I mean, hey, I'm like, hey, man, you got to talk to God about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm right there, like barely at 6 right there. You heard me? So
Mhm.
it's just like, it's tough. You know, it's tough. And in politics, they definitely will make you like say, man, F it. But like I tell people, man, like they can't take your work ethic away from you. They can't take that
Mhm.
away. And that right there is a blessing in itself. And once I actually started thinking like that, it was different because I always like had a negative mindset on a lot of stuff in life anyway. And so, yeah.
Okay. So what was the politics, I guess, behind the NFL? Because you say you were in the NFL Combine and you were having private workouts. What was this? I know you talked about like arena football and everything, but what was the situation with the NFL?
NFL, it was just like I had a workout with the Jets. It was coach shout out to Coach Chavis. He knew some people. Boom, I had a little workout, had to run a 40, had to do the shuttle, catch some footballs and stuff like that. I was single during the time frame, and so pretty much what got back to him was, well, it's a family oriented, locker room.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now I can't speak on whether it was true or not, but that's I can just go off of what was told to me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so just dealing with that, just dealing with heck, you supposed to have a workout, but what happens is like if they work you out, and let's just say somebody gets hurt, they might need like I play receiver, but they might need like a DB or something like that. They'll call up a DB, or they might not pick you because they need a DB to fill the spot. So it's a lot of stuff that go into it. I'm just speaking on the stuff that happened, with me in my career. So that's what happened with
So
like
because you
NFL
were
wise.
single, what?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. Like honestly, on the arena team, like people keep stuff in house because you got stuff that's in house that you won't ever speak about. You won't ever hear me talk about. So it's like they feel like if everybody in there has like a family, and then here you come single, what you look like? You look like you wild, you out there, anything
Mm-hmm.
happen, anything goes. Even though you might not be like that, but that's the stigma behind it. So yeah,
Wow. So a lot of stereotyping, even in football, which is
yeah.
still a super duper. That's crazy. So you went through all of these experiences, but you eventually was able to go overseas and play, right?
Yeah.
And that was
I
in
had a
Hungary.
friend that was it. So it was in Hungary, Ukraine, Slovakia, Poland, and I was
Mm-hmm.
all out there playing, even on the outskirts of Russia and all that as well too. And it was my partner Daryl Tate. Like he was the first one to go out there that I knew of. Of course, that the league's been out there, but the one that I knew of, because I was my whole mind was like, man, if I can't get in the NFL, if I'm like right there, I'm not going overseas, and that was my mind frame. But then
Mm-hmm.
he told me, he was like, look, man, like they pay you depending on how good you are, depending on your status and all that stuff. They take care of you. They fly you out there. Some teams do try to get you over there for free and all that, but it's another chance to experience the world. And so with me, I'm like, all right, I'll just give it a shot. And shoot, when I gave it a shot, that was like the best thing that I could have done. So.
Mm-hmm. Because you were able to do
Hmm.
what you love, but they also paid you for it, right? And then I would assume they
Yeah,
took care of where you lived and everything.
yeah, they did that for me, and it was like I'm thankful for it. So it's like me living over there, then I'm coming back to America. First place I went to that I was over there from January to November, and I remember
Mm-hmm.
this like it was yesterday. I didn't have to pay for anything. I was blessed not to pay for nothing while I'm over there playing. Like they paying me,
Mm-hmm.
just stacking my money, going from there. They taking care of everything, and because I was blessed to be like good over there, like they praised me a whole lot. So
Mm-hmm.
doing all of
So
that,
you're
I
a
get back to it.
celebrity at that point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was that over there. And so doing
Okay.
all of that, and then all of a sudden I come back to America, and then I go inside it was KFC, matter of fact. I went inside KFC, and the lady, she was like, all right, it'll be 10.98. And I was like, all right. And I just looked at her. And then she looked at me, and I'm like, oh, dang, that's what I got to pay for. Like, just that whole, it was like, all right, I'm back to reality. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, it is
That's
what it is.
funny.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So then, so we got football. So we were able to finally follow our dream, not to the extreme level that we wanted to, but you were able to finally follow your dream. So why did you stop?
I had to think about life after football. I didn't really think about life after football because my days coming up, I didn't even really think I was gonna see past 25. So it was I never really had a plan. Excuse the
Dang,
noise with the
your mental
motorcycle.
back then. Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's just like I'm like, you know what? Past 25, what's next? All right, let's just go day to day, year to year. So it wasn't like I had that whole, hey man, when I turn 30 or when I turn 40, I want to do X, Y. Shoot, I just didn't think I was gonna see past 25 during that
Wait,
time
wait,
frame
wait, wait. Why did it stop at 25 though?
because I lost like I lose a lot of people before 25. Like my right hand man, he was 20, 22.
Mm-hmm.
My partner was 23. My other partner was 24. And so like the stuff you see on movies, like a lot of the, young people dying, especially of color, whatever like that, man. Like I really live that lifestyle, and I got
Mm-hmm.
two parents. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people, I mean, I got two parents. That just means you got common sense. My dad was military, so he was there, but he wasn't there because he had to, be overseas a lot. He fought in the Persian Gulf War, liberation of Kuwait. So he's gone a lot. He come home for 2 months, gone for a year and a half. Gone, come home
Mm-hmm.
again for like 3 months, in the field for 6 months. Gone. It's just my mama. So I chose to be rebellious. So I chose it. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like I wanted to. I chose it just because it was
Mm-hmm.
like, well, shoot, he ain't here. Let me just. I don't want to ask my mama for nothing, man. I'm never gonna look at her, so I'm gonna go get it myself, and that's what I chose. So the stuff in Fayetteville, North Carolina, man, like it was just a lot of shootings, a lot of retaliation stuff, whatever. So my mind frame, I'm like, well, shoot, if I get caught up in the crossfire, it is what it is, and that was the mind frame I had during that time frame. So now I have that mind frame, and I'm pretty much in college, so I'm still
Mm-hmm.
doing everything. So like that's where it comes to the coaches. They honestly wanted me to stop hanging with my people, but I'm like, I'm not doing that because I'm the one
Mm-hmm.
choosing to do this and that. Like my people ain't influencing me to do it. I'm choosing to do it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, like I'm not gonna conform to that. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna hang out with who I want to hang with because I only hung with a couple people on the football team like that anyway. The solid ones. It's like, man, you still got a lot of sucker dudes or sucker, whoever that play a sport. Just because we're on the team don't mean I'm a rock with you. You still could be doing some lame junk out here like that. That ain't me. So
That's
they
true.
wanted me to hang with the team and all of that, and I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. So that's
Wow.
where, yeah. But again, that's my mind frame. And so once I made it to 25, it's like, okay, dang, now I got to think about 26. Now I got to think about 27. But then my mind frame started changing, and then when I went overseas, that's when I actually started like committing to. I ain't watch TV like that because I mean I learned the language over there, but I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I can't just I can speak it just a little bit for like good 2 to 5 minutes, and then after that it's like, all right, what you saying?
2 to 5 minutes.
And so yeah, so I didn't really watch TV, and I was reading a lot, and then man, my mind just started changing, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, I went from thinking negative 180 to thinking positive 180, and
Wow.
ever since, yeah.
I mean, that just sounds like a whole movie. Like, just, I mean, I'm an Aries too. I'm not a high head to that extent, but to basically be like a whole rebel and to change it, but just feeling like your life was going to end at 25 and the fact that you accepted it. And then when it came, you're just like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like, what's next? Like, that's crazy. Like, I've never heard nobody ever say that. Like, I don't know if you remember the movie like Don't Be a Menace while drinking juice in the South Central, wherever
Mm,
it's called.
I know them
And
perfectly. Yeah.
then yeah, and then they talk about like at the beginning, at the beginning of the movie, she's like, "Oh my baby," and then they were talking about how like guys don't make it past 21. But to hear, because I'm from Detroit, and I don't think I've ever thought that, and I've never thought that for my brothers. Granted, it's still a volatile environment, but growing up with the type of parents I had was just like they wouldn't let us do a lot of different things. So
Hmm.
I mean, that's amazing. That's crazy. But anyway, so we decided, all right, we're 25, we're back in the states, we got to figure out how to make income. And I know like you're working in the film industry, so you're working a full-time job and you're a part-time entrepreneur. So tell us about your current career and how are you running a part-time business.
Man, it's tough. It's doable. It's tough. You just got to really do a lot of sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? With the business, especially if you're having a business partner, you have to make sure both of y'all are on the same page. Like
Mhm.
to an degree, I disagree to an extent where like when they say it's not personal, it's business. I feel like in order for it to be business, it has to be personal. And my only opinion because of that is just because it's like I got to know why you're doing this business. And that's personal. I have to know why you're doing this business. Are you doing it like me as a guy? Am I doing this business just to chase the women because I can get money and I can go spend on them? Or am I doing this business because I got a kid? I want to take care of my kid or I want to take care of my family. What are you doing it for? And that's personal. So I feel
Mhm.
like you have to be personal to have that business like either blossom or destruct. And I've been in situations to where like, shout out to Jay, me and him, we business partners, but we had a business partner to where like two of us was thinking like generational wealth. One was thinking stunting for social media, and that messes up. It's never
Mhm.
gonna work. So I always tell people, man, be transparent from the start. If you're gonna sit out here and you want to do it for women, all right, cool. I ain't gonna look at you dirty because I mean everybody got their own preference. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we can't work together because I'm not doing it. I'm not out here for making money for these women. I'm out here to make money. I ain't have a kid during that time, but I'm out here to like to live a certain lifestyle of what I was living when I was playing
Mhm.
football. So now that I'm in the real world and I gotta do this and figure this out, this is what I'm doing. I want to get to where like I'm living like I'm still playing ball. And that's it. So you doing a business, man. Just make sure you're transparent with the other one. Like A through Z, all the way 1 through 100. They have to know everything because both of y'all have to be one sound. And
Mhm.
that's how it is with our business. Like I say, he does more of the work than me. You know what I'm saying? Because he's more of like the full time entrepreneur. Like I'm more of like the halftime because I do have a career in the film industry. So he's doing more of the work. So therefore, I make the contract to where he's getting more than what I get. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because that's fair. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, I could have came up with whatever, but what's going on right now? Like, you're doing more of the work than me, and so that's what I would probably like encourage to give like advice. You know what I'm saying? Just make
Mhm.
sure that both of y'all are on the same page. Make sure it's no bull crap because that's all it be when people break up. One want to be the other. One want to be more than the other. Or well, this one's
Mhm.
getting more of the spotlight. Like my business partner, he'll get more of the spotlight than me. I'm happy.
Okay. So it's a mutual.
Nah,
So it's not like it's just a relationship that works, which is important in life in general. You gotta have a relationship that benefits both parties.
yeah, that's the main thing in any business. I don't care what you're doing. You both have to understand what's there for. Because if not, you gonna have a certain intention of doing this, and you're doing it because of this, and that partner over there is doing it because of that. And if y'all ain't talk about it, you're gonna
Mhm.
break up. Then all of a sudden, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. And we went through all rough patches. I'm not about to act like and I'm transparent with everything. Like we went through a stage the way it was miscommunication. Me, hey, I want communication. He wants communication. He wants it at this way. I want it that way. It's an ego thing from both sides, my side and his side. I can admit that. You know what I'm saying? I lost my mom in 2020, so a lot of my mind frame is like I don't have a tolerance for stuff that I probably should have a tolerance, and I can't blame
Mhm.
you because I lost my mom, and that's how
Mhm.
I was operating. You know what I'm saying? Like I lost my mama. I ain't got time for you do it. Nah, bump it, and I cut it off. And I honestly shouldn't be like that. So
Mhm.
we lost it, but we got it back right, and we good. So
Mhm.
yeah,
So obviously you experienced grief, and the fact that I think the fact that you're young you've experienced grief, from your mom. Like I couldn't even imagine, but yet you were able to notice that your response to that grief and be able to change it. Like I think that's a powerful lesson, and that's why I wanted to stop and just focus on that, because we go through trauma, a lot in life, and some people is like, certain things just make you stronger. Maybe, but I think part of that strength is not just saying, hey, move on. Part of that strength is identifying who you were in that moment and how you can be a better person, because I'm a firm believer that I don't know if it's like your 30s, or I say like the 30s, but when you start to lose a lot of people, I mean, you got some people that's just constantly hurting and they just cannot get out of that grief bubble, right? But then you
Mm-hmm.
got some people that's just like, they've lost people, and I think because of losing so many people, it starts speaking to their character where they identify relationships that's not valuing them, and not identifying like a bad sense, but they're just like, you know what, this relationship doesn't value me. I'm gonna just keep it moving, no hard foul whatsoever. And then you also have certain relationships where you're just like, I'm going to value this relationship. I'm going to value this person because I know what it feels like to lose people. So, um, going back to it, the point that you were able to identify who you were and then use that to be able to um, know which relationships value in life. I think that is important. I definitely want to say that because I'm definitely feeling it now as I get older. It's just like, I'm a people person. I feed off people energy, but at the same time, because I've lost people, I really value those that bring, if anything, positivity to my life. So definitely wanted to say that. So, like, what do you do in the film industry?
I'm a location, so I'm assistant location manager slash stage
Okay.
manager, and I manage with the Marvel movies, BET. I'm on Paramount right now. Um,
Wait a minute. So you're
Stars.
you're the actual manager? You're the head dude now?
So stage managing is like, yeah, head dude for like stage. So like,
What?
and then when they on location, then like so you got like a location manager, then you got a location manager. Then you got an assistant location manager. I'm the assistant location manager when we out, like, got to go film at people's houses and stuff like that. But I'm working now to pretty much going to be, one of these days a key because I'm taking it serious now.
Okay.
And so, yeah, so doing that. But yeah, I mean, it's a blessing.
Okay.
I've been doing that honestly since I retired from football in 2017.
Okay. I didn't know that. I worked in locations before, right?
Nah, I ain't know that either.
Yeah, I
Nah,
did.
you did a
It was
you
like
did a lot though, man. I remember everything. So yeah, you did a lot.
that's what everybody say, but I think if people really know my story, I think I put my story on here before. But if people really know my story, they'll understand why I moved the way I move. Because I'm a firm believer in life happened. I also have had fear, but also, trauma, like my experience with the military, things that happened growing up, and
Mm,
just things and jobs. Like part of the reason, I got out of the film industry was because I didn't like how I was being treated, and that treatment of how I felt was a feeling familiar to how I was being treated in the military. So I didn't. My
right,
my intent was never to run away from the industry. It was to create my own, which is like 6 years later or seven, whatever. I'm like, dang, like I haven't produced anything. So I think I'm gonna get back into like a project next year because I've had a project that I've been wanting to work on for years. I always had a dream of winning an Academy Award, and
that's what's up.
everything. I think, yeah, that's like literally when I met you is the when people saw like the fitness and all of that in me back then. Outside of just naturally being an athlete, I was building a brand. I wanted to be an action star. I was studying
Hmm.
stunts and everything, and then a mentor of mine, he was like, focus on one thing. And then that's when I literally dropped everything. I dropped the film, the art side, which I feel like it was a good thing he said that, but also probably it could have been told to me differently, because I could have
Right.
still used those different things to grow career wise, but I didn't know how to do it. So I think that's why you want to have a mentor, but I think an ongoing mentor, because somebody could tell you stuff, and I'm a very logical and literal person. If you tell me something, that's what I'm doing. And then there's still parts around it. It was just like, well, wait a minute, you could have still did that. I'm like, well, you ain't tell me that. So I'm a very logical person, which is a pro and a con. But anyways, yeah, I worked in locations. I think that was on Finding Carter, and I didn't like locations. Like I felt like it was people in the industry. Some people, I don't know if you experienced this, but definitely in the intro, some people are trying to make you look bad because the work is so contract, about 3-4 hours, whatever. I mean, 3-4 hours, 3-4 months, or however long, 6 months, and then when that's over, you gotta get hired on to the next production. And so some
Hmm.
people I felt would make you look bad so that they'll be the one hired before you on the next production. Do you feel like you felt that in your career at all? At least at the beginning, maybe.
Yeah, they tried. I can sit out here and say though, it is different for like I hate it because I had a mama, but it is different. It is different for women in the industry
Yeah.
than it is for men. You know what I'm saying? Especially like of color, it is, and just in
Mhm.
general because yeah, they tried it with me, but I mean I'm stern like you. I don't really care. Like I always tell them, like I'm never gonna need a job because I treat people right and I do right anyway.
Mhm.
Even when your back is turned, I'm still gonna do what's required of it. I'm just not gonna
Mhm.
kiss you. I was about to say the cut. I don't know if we can cuss on here. I'm just
You
not
can
gonna
do
kiss
it.
your
You can
tail.
be
You,
you.
oh,
You can be you.
all right, cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna kiss. I'm not gonna kiss your ass, man. So it's like either
Yeah.
you're gonna accept me to work here, this and that, or not. And you see that a lot. It still go on now, not with me, but
Mhm.
I see it a lot in people to where like
Really.
instead of them working to be as a team, that
Yeah.
you're trying to one up a person and thinking like, oh, I'm gonna suck up and thinking that's gonna help you move up. And it's like, nah, you messing it up for the rest of the people that's coming up
Yeah.
under you. And so
Yeah.
that's why I love being in the industry now because
Mhm.
I'm trying to do the best I can to change that narrative. Like, you don't have to. It's so many people that I done spoke to that I'm like, look, man, you really actually are a good human being. You don't got to kiss no tail, man. I'm telling you that right now. And so when they looking at me, they're like, how did you know that? And I'm like, I can tell because I read people a lot. I sit back and observe. And I'm like, man, there's a
Mhm.
lot of good, genuine people that's in the industry, whatever, like that. But the type of story that you have, especially on the woman side of the game, that happens, unfortunately.
Really.
And,
I'm glad you
it's
said that's
like,
reaffirming that you said that though, because I don't know what other women experience. I do know some of the women that I knew then that were working in the industry. Some women are doing really well, and some are just not
mhm.
in the industry anymore.
Yeah, I mean, because you gotta look at it. It's minimum 12 hours Monday through Friday, and so
Minimum.
you're
Make
pretty
that
much
known.
committed to
Minimum.
that. Yeah, it's minimum, and so it's like you're probably locked on there for let's say if it's 3 months. So for 3 months, Monday through Friday, well, Monday through Monday, really, you're locked in, especially in location. And
hmm
so now you got to deal with
16
that. You
hours
got
on
to
average. I felt with locations.
Exactly. Yeah, nah, you're right. And so now you got to deal with that. Now you have to deal with different type of people, attitudes, personality. It's a money making industry, so everybody in there making some type of money, whether
hmm
little, not whatever. But everybody's making good money, depending on the team, the budget, and all that. So now you got to deal with this person is like a millionaire and trying to talk down to you, and they talking to you in a money fashion and not a human fashion. And so
hmm
yeah, again, it's tried like that. I'm sorry if you hear that. It's been like that in the industry. They tried it with me, and it's like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So
mm
at the end of the day, like, yeah, we either gonna talk and you're gonna look each other in the eye and talk, and that's what the biggest transition was, like coming from the athlete industry to
Yeah.
coming to this industry. I literally, man, shout out to Harrison, and he's in the industry now. He's actually my key. Matter of fact, he's training me to be a
Okay.
key right now as we speak.
Nice. That's dope.
Harrison, he did social work for 13 years. So I'm like, oh yeah, like you right there under God, because anybody that can do social work, boy, you can do that and have that much patience. Oh yeah, you can master
hmm
anything. Yeah, I
hmm
need to like study up under you how to not really want to put my foot in a lot of these jokers' tail because they coming at me a certain type of way that I don't take. And he was like, "Yeah, dog, you just gotta let it go in one end out the other, but like set them straight." And so with me, I'm real stern. I'm laid back.
hmm
You already know that. You just not gonna
hmm
talk to me in the type of way because I don't do that to you. So if I'm not doing it to you,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ask you. I'm telling you that's not gonna be done to me. We gonna respect one another, and that's it. We ain't gotta like each other, but we gonna respect, and that's two totally different things. And so
Yeah.
once they sit up here, now my name is. I'm blessed to have my name in the industry as known as he's a good guy. He's a team player.
And a
He's
hard
not gonna
worker.
take no jump and a hard worker. And so that's a blessing. And I didn't know my name was getting out there in the industry like that. But yeah, I've worked on some pretty big projects, and people love me and want to bring me back. So I'm
Yeah.
blessed.
That's what's up. Like you got me over here missing it. But that's great to hear because I think also I was young, early 20s.
Mm,
I knew I had film. I'm like you. My story is the same, well, similar. Both athletes. I went from one sport to the next sport to the next sport. By which this sport, with basketball injuries, didn't make it. I was better running track, injured myself. All right, let's box. All right, I'm getting older. At that point, I'm 27. I ain't making Floyd money, Mayweather money. These male boxing coaches don't care about women like that, especially when my coach, he
mm,
didn't show up. My coach texted me at 2 a.m. He's supposed to be on a flight to Baltimore because, this is the Olympic qualifier. This is what I've been training for. I think that's when, I don't know if I met you before. I think I met you before. But I'm training for the
we met
Olympics, right?
before. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
we met before.
Yeah,
But you
so
told me about everything. Yeah.
I'm training for the
Mm-hmm.
Olympics, and then this dude text me 2 a.m. Sorry, not coming. All this work that we put in, this is the biggest fight of my career. You're not gonna show up. And plus, I was injured too. I couldn't fight. I shouldn't have fought in that fight, but it was the qualifier. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
granted, I was only training in boxing for over a year, and I'm trying to go to the Olympics, where I should have really put in more time. But neither here or there. Have an athletic background, moved down here young, wanted to work in the film industry, but just had a bad experience. And I'm the type of person that I I'm passive like when it comes to conflict, but now as I'm older, I am going to say certain things. I'm known for my questions, which is the benefit of the podcast because, like I said, I'm a logical person. I ask questions that people are probably thinking or they don't think. But anyways, neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're working in the film industry, which is a dope industry on average. Locations is very demanding because you have to be on set, make sure that the location is good. Now, you said that you have your one partner that's working, he's working mostly like full time and you're working part time. So, how does your effort, like, what exactly is your role? Because if you're working Monday through Friday on average 16-hour shifts, do you work kind of when those contracts are off? Like, what is your actual role in the business?
Yeah. So I knew to be doing a better job. Social media. I need to do a better job with the algorithm and like posting and all that. But it's more so like behind the scenes logistics of it. So like
Mm-hmm.
having meetings with we got one of the, I think they are the biggest distribution Southern Glazers. Like he knew that up, but like just dealing with logistics, knowing the numbers to talk. We done had like one person try to actually like buy us out, and so it's like with my business partner, he's more like social media savvy because he's a little bit younger than me. I'm 36. I think he about like what? Well, I ain't gonna say a little bit. He about like 28, 27, 29. One of them. So
Okay.
this is this is more of his era, social media. So like he has it on lock. He knows how to do it. He knows how to handle that. He actually know how to like promote more than what I do because I'm more like laid back. Like I'm more like on the ground. Like, hey, look, this is either you want it or you're not. I ain't gonna sell it to you. You gonna just try it out and then go from there. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so
You
I
want
deal
it or
with
you
just
not?
a little.
That's your sales pitch. You want it or you not?
Yeah, that's it. Like, cause I mean, it's not like I don't know. I just never really like stuff being sold to me because you know how it is when some people try to like sell you stuff. It feels like kind of like we throw out the word scam
Uncomfortable.
a lot and all that and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's like let me genuinely talk to you about it, and you genuinely say, "Nah, I don't want it." All right, cool. Because it ain't meant for everybody. Like
I
once
think
you
that
understand
sells
that,
one
I
on
feel
one though. I think that's
yeah.
what you just said. Let's backtrack it. Say it again. That sells one on one because most people in my experience, and fucked I fucked it up in the beginning as an
Mm,
entrepreneur because I didn't have like the mentors. But I learned that people don't like to sell and people don't like to be sold to. One thing people want to do is educate and like you're either my client or you're not. But you got to say it how you said it again if you remember. What sells one on one? Go ahead.
Oh, says as far as like I mean, I'ma genuinely tell you about it, and either
Yeah.
you like it or you don't. And if not, all right, cool, because it ain't meant for everybody. And I'm not gonna look
Mm-hmm.
at you no type of way if you don't like it, because you might not like it, and you might go tell somebody they gonna be intrigued by it, and they probably might come and like it, and then that person might actually know way more people than what you know. So you just gotta, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it is. But yeah, I don't like I said as far as like selling, like I don't ever sell like, hey man, you got to do this. Like I don't really do none of that. It's like, oh, hey, I heard you got some wine. Like yeah, man, like, try it out. It's sweet white wines. It's from Hungary. It's nothing American about it. Everything is, straight from Europe. Just give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, and if you don't like it, please let us know that, because that's how we grow our business, by your feedback. And so they'll try it and they be like, oh wow, let me get this and that. Some people don't like the wine because they like red wine, which what we have now, but they don't
Mm-hmm.
like sweet white wines. They like red wine. That's the quote unquote negative of it. And it's like, well, shoot, that's a positive. Yeah, that means you just don't like it. It ain't meant for
Mm-hmm.
everybody, and you just can't get emotional with it just because a person say no. Like,
Right.
we done had a lot of no's, and it's like, all right, cool. Then they come back and be like, you know what? I told y'all no, but y'all didn't feel no type of way about it. And it's like, yeah, nah,
Mm-hmm.
like, you don't like it. You know what I'm saying? But that's rare, because you do get a lot of people that try to sell, and you know they try to
Mislead.
sell because all you do. Some people sit up here and do it on purpose. I'm gonna intentionally tell you no just to see if you're really trying to sell it to me. And
Mm-hmm.
8 times out of 10, a person fail. Well, what is it that you don't like about it? And then they'll start getting a little bit of attitude and get agitated and this and that. Well, you're gonna miss out, and it's like, yeah, you can't really do a person like that, because you got to put yourself in that position.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine you coming up and you asking you about this wine, and then I'm sitting up here trying to sell it to you. You ain't gonna like it, so why you think it's all right for you to do it?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's just, that's it.
And I think that goes back to goals too, because like you said, it depends on what someone's goal is. If this is your only source of income, which I was in that position before, it was my only source of income, or if this is your source to look flashy and all of that, you have to make money to
Hmm.
fulfill either, that income requirement. Whereas I
Right.
think this is important too, why I want to focus on those part-time business owners, because people make it look so beautiful and dope to be an entrepreneur, looking a certain way all over social media, and it's just like, that's not real entrepreneurship. Like, one of my mentors, I met a billionaire back in the day. They had the FBI come and closing businesses and people doing death threats and stuff. And those are sometimes the level of success, which is not for everybody. But the benefit of having a full time job, a full time career, is that it can ease your mind to accept the no's a lot easier. Because, like you said, it's either for
Hmm.
you or it's not. But I'm pretty sure you have a vision in place for your business as well, to where you're just like, hey, we're gonna find the right clients. Eventually everything comes with time. Pretty much accurate what you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, that's accurate. Like I tell him, because of course, he's still like maturing in certain areas that I'm already,
Mm-hmm.
of course, matured in, because I had a certain lifestyle, and plus I'm older than him. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pour it back into him. I'm like, hey man, like, look, a successful business is one that don't owe nobody. I don't
Mm-hmm.
give a care if we make $5. If I don't owe nobody, hey man, we got $5. We can split it 250. You get 250, I get 250. Matter of fact, you get the whole thing because you put more work into whatever. That's a
Mm-hmm.
successful business, in my opinion. If I ain't, man, there's so many businesses out there, and goes with social media, that they make it look good, this and that, and be owing, or people complaining left and right, but they don't ever be transparent about it. And so our business, everything is transparency. If you ask me something and I don't know, I'm gonna tell you I don't know. I'll find out. Because one thing I'm not gonna do to you is sit out here and lie just because of this product. You'll respect me more by telling you I don't know, but I can sit up here and research it and I'll get back to you. You'll respect that more than me saying, oh yeah, man, it's XYZ, and then it ain't XYZ. Now you're gonna look at me as a liar. Now you're gonna say, hey man, don't go to that person. You might know
Mm-hmm.
10 top tier type people, and you talking to them on the regular. Like, you got them on speed dial. Hey, yeah, don't try Gladys wine, man. Tank, he's a liar. That's all that person need to hear. All right, I ain't gonna waste my time with it. But
Mm-hmm.
I've actually, had conversations with, certain people when we had like our wine tastings, and they asked me a question. I'm like, hold on, let me ask my business partner, because I'm still learning it more. They respected that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta be transparent with it. We don't owe nobody. That's the main thing right there. So
Yes.
our business is gonna be successful. You know what I'm saying? Whether we make $1, whether we make $2, whatever, we don't owe nobody. Nobody can say, "Hey man, you owe me this." We got all our licenses. That was the most tough part, because since it is overseas, you got to deal with customs. You got to deal with all of
Mm-hmm.
that. But outside of that, once we pass that, everything now is just more so of making sure we in the right place, which we are, and it's really
Mm-hmm.
about to turn over. So yeah, like I said,
Nice.
my role is just like logistics of it. He's more of the face of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we communicate and keep going from there.
Hmm. Now, how does the process work? Because, like you said, you got a lot of logistics from being overseas. Does the people that you guys talk to overseas, they just basically have this wine, they're producing this wine, and you guys bring it over here? Like, what's the process? Like, if you were to give a step by step overview of how do you get your wine from over here, and then how do you sell it?
Yeah, so either we can air do it, or we can go through the air on the boat, and
Mm-hmm.
different prices vary. And so we talk to them. We let them know like, hey, we got like right now we have 25. Like we pretty much kind of like we about to move to Georgia, but we based out of Tennessee, like Nashville, Memphis area. So we got about
Mm-hmm.
25 to 30 stores, liquor stores, 4 restaurants, and honestly, I could be. Don't quote me on them. It either could be more. Honestly, it's that many people that want this wine. Like it's been people that have been wanting this wine for over a decade. But when you go over there, nobody speak English. So you over there, it's a wasted trip. Now you just out there just looking at the scenery, which is a beautiful scenery and all that. But
Mm-hmm.
we actually just was blessed to find people that speak English. So yeah, just dealing with that. After we tell them a number, they like, okay, yeah, we got it. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. Boom, this the price. This the price. Boom, and either we ship it on the boat. It takes like
Mm-hmm.
probably what 2 to 3 weeks, sometime a month. Especially like right now with like the whole how the pandemic kind of like messed it, like pushed
Yeah.
everything back. Um, yeah, so we go through it with that. It goes to Germany. Then after that, from Germany, it probably go like to South Carolina, Tennessee, wherever. And that's just the process. So now it's like, okay, the thing that we come across that we've gotten better at now is like not wait until it's almost out to order some more. We got to order
Mm-hmm.
some more like when it's like half or like close to being halfway, because now by the time the last bottle is empty, I mean like by the time we sold out, boom, the other one coming in like a week, so we good to go.
Okay.
Because
No,
now
so
just
let's
keeping
backtrack a
everybody
little.
interested.
So let's backtrack because when you said when it's half, so where is this wine? So we got the wine over here through the plane or boat. Does it immediately go to these stores, these liquor stores? Do they purchase it? Like, what is that process?
So pretty much, we under contract with them. So like they come to us, they like, hey, like we want a certain amount. Boom, we do a contract. We get a percentage. Then they're able to put it, whatever price they price it at. We make sure they don't price it to where like, I mean, it's a foreign wine. So honestly,
Mm-hmm.
we've been told we're underselling it in a
Underpriced.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
Underpriced. That's the word. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're underpricing it in a sense. But it's just like I ain't gonna never tack nobody over the head, but at the end of the day, this is a foreign wine. When they break it down business wise, it's like, oh yeah, 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 but it's all good. It's gonna happen when it needs to happen. Because we're not on Tyler Perry status. We're not. Don't
Mm-hmm.
nobody know us except for like people that know us. Like you know us and everything. But like, let's say like, uh, who the people out there like what the Kardashians, like they don't know who we are, but everybody know who Tyler Perry is.
Right.
So you can put the Tyler Perry price on it because it's Tyler Perry. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they get it from us. We sign a contract and we get a percentage. So then when it comes in, to answer your question, when it comes in, we go pick it up. There where they drop it off, and then we pick it up. We put it in our storage, and then go from there.
Okay, and then so
And
you put it in your storage, so it's like a warehouse or something.
yeah,
And then once I guess so, how did it get from your warehouse to the store? Do they come pick it up, or you guys drop it off?
it's a mixture of both. And that when he say they, you gotta I got shit. I ain't take no credit for it. It's Caesar. Like Caesar, he pretty much like I said, he grind a lot, man. So he'll go take it, or sometimes they'll meet him halfway, or they'll drop it off, whatever. So, but now that we got this distribution one, it'll be different to where like they'll pretty much get it because that's part of the payment as well too. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it's
Okay,
working.
so
It's coming like step by step.
and you're the one, like, are you meeting with these individual stores, getting them on the contract? Like, how do you get the relationship with these stores?
Yeah, he go meet him. I'm saying,
He go
hey,
no,
I
I'm
don't.
saying before they even know who you are. Like, did he just go meet them, or you meet the stores to tell them about your wine and if they want to pick it up? Like, how is that? How does it get into the actual? How do you get to the contract so that you can get it in the store?
So he'll go. So pretty much one of the stores, let's say one of the stores have it that's like a hot, commodity foot traffic store, whatever like that. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
word of mouth on that one. But then he'll go to the liquor store, meet them personally, talk to them, break it down, and then that's when we'll get on the phone, be like, hey, they wanna have our wines in the store. This is the
Mm-hmm.
amount. This is the price. Blah blah blah. And it goes like that. So it's more like foot traffic, but it's getting to the
Okay.
point now to where like he don't even have to do it because like shoot,
Nice.
20, like I said, 20 liquor stores, and all these liquor stores are known. And then you got a
Mm-hmm.
couple of them that are like the small time ones, but they're known too for small time and up and coming. So now
Mm-hmm.
everything is more like just word of mouth. Like, hey, man, this wine, this is good wine, whoop de whoop. And then they like, oh yeah, we got that. That's Gladys wine. And then boom, boom, and then they get a contact, and that's how it starts.
And then now you guys are working on the Atlanta area. Then I'm assuming you're gonna branch out from there.
Yeah, yeah, we working on the Atlanta area now. You just got to, man. You just got to be licensed up, man, because it's a dirty world out here. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you have people that been wanting this wine. Yeah, they want to make sure that they can still try to get it some way somehow. So they'll make sure you got to make sure your T's is crossed and your I's is dotted, because they'll try to find any little bitty thing. So all the loopholes we've covered up, all the main stuff we covered up, you got to get licensed. So yeah, that's what we're
Mm-hmm.
working on now with Georgia, and then it's gonna go from
Okay.
Georgia all the way out there to like Iowa, because he went to school out there in Iowa. So
Okay. Nice. Nice.
yeah,
That's amazing. Are you guys working on influencers as well, or celebrities to kind of help get the name out, or are you just going off a natural word of mouth?
yeah. So our mentor, shout out to Rodney, our mentor. He's big time.
Mm-hmm.
He's cool with like anybody that you can name. He cool with like the Kardashians, all the what you call them jokers, the housewives people.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody know Rodney Foster. That's our mentor, and he helps us out a whole lot because he has his wine at Idlewise. I might be saying it wrong with her, but it's from Germany and everything, and he has like a great wine, but his wines is good too. So shout out to them too as well, and he's helped us out a whole lot. So like it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like if we just needed like a favor, hey man, if you don't mind, can you post this? Boom, he would do it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we getting a couple people that Caesar know because he stays out there in the Memphis area. So
Mm-hmm.
like the Memphis Grizzlies owner, it's a couple of
Nice.
like rappers and stuff like that are getting hooked on to it, and so yeah, I mean it's definitely grown. It's definitely growing. We just got to make sure we have like the right inventory for it. Because
Mm-hmm.
last thing we want to do is sit up here and say this, and then all of a
Oversell and then
sudden
don't have
like
enough.
over the exactly yeah. So that's what we're
Okay.
doing.
Cool. Well, I guess, since we're coming to an end, I want to know, and the audience, I don't live in Tennessee. Like, how can I get a bottle of this wine? How can I taste it out? I mean, taste it out. How
Oh
can I
yeah.
taste it?
So we got to think www.gladyswine.com,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go there. That's our website. Or like if you got social media, you can go to the @ symbol Gladys Wine, and
Mm-hmm.
it's GladysWine, and you click on that. We got the link in the bio, and you can go in there and order. We should be getting some more in now that it's passed through customs, because like I said, that customs be a mug.
Mm-hmm.
Within like the next week and a half to 2 weeks, but we'll update and keep updating more and more on it. My
Got
fault,
it.
man. I'm sitting up here, this
Nah, you're
yeah,
good.
choking
You're
right now.
good. Perfect. So we can definitely go on there and get the wine. And is it like, what if I wanted to get it for like a gift or something? You guys like wrap it pretty at all, or I would have to wrap it pretty? Like, what's that process? As if I order it.
Man, well, so we rapper, but we men, so your
Ah,
detail could be different than our detail. But no, we do rap it.
I'm
We are
curious.
definitely rapping it. Yeah, no, it's rap though. It's rap. It has a bag and all of that stuff. Now, as far as the detail that you might like it, I don't know. That's for you to sit up here and be like, hey man, y'all need to do a better job of X, Y, Z. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll go to the drawing board and then go from there. But
No,
no,
I'm
it's
curious
good
to
though when
check
you
it
get it.
out. Just was like, this is actually really good. Or I'm like, Tank, I don't know. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah. Let us know
pointless.
because I mean, presentation definitely matters. You know what I'm saying? And so, like
Hmm.
you come and sit up and say, hey, it needs to be like this and that. I'll let them know, and we go back and be like, yeah, we need to do this, or yeah, we need to probably do it this way. But yeah, we do have some women around that give good advice and all of that stuff like that. So yeah,
Hmm.
we doing the best we can with that.
Definitely. And then how does if someone wanted to like reach out to you, just be like, hey, what's up, or advice or just anything, how do they reach out to you?
They reach out to me is dang, what is my Instagram? You can go to
Wow.
my Instagram Tankpac, TANKPAC.
Hmm.
You can reach out to me there. Facebook is my It's Jamar. That's my real name, Jamar. Jamar. Last name is Dials. D as in Delta. IALS. And you can
Mm-hmm.
type it in there. Reach out to me there for advice. I'm like always, I can give advice, whatever like that. Can't give you no money, but I can give you advice. So
I hear
you know
that.
what I'm saying. That's it. But yeah, you can reach out to me all there.
Okay, cool. Well, Tank, thank you so much for, blessing this podcast today. Like, you provided a lot of value. I don't even know if you know the value you provided. The fact that you're just so humble, it comes across definitely on the screen. Just me knowing you as a person, I know it's all genuine. So I really appreciate you for coming through, blessing my podcast today. Any
No,
final
no
words?
problem. I appreciate it. Yeah. Shout out to LJ too. He helped me out in my career when I was living in Charlotte as well too. Don't want to
Mm-hmm.
forget that. And shout out to my JVs, my Jack boys, whatever. They're my close people right there. And I appreciate you for allowing me to speak on your podcast. Hopefully I did well. If
No, you
not,
did good.
cool. I'll read it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. I ain't gonna trip about it. And y'all just keep
Perfect.
on y'all keep grinding, man. Keep grinding. Don't let social media dictate your future. So yeah.
There you go. That's what's up. Well, again, everybody, remember this is the Millennial Network Podcast where your network equals your net worth. This your girl, Coach Danny Renee, and we are out. Peace.